Hello students, we'll start with the next problem, that is a dip and strike problem. So as already we have discussed about dip and strike. So those two terminologies are familiar now for us. So you know what do you mean by dip and what is strike. So if not, I'll go back to this just uh, to make you understand once again to brush up. See, dip, when you say dip, we should remember we have a two terminologies there, dip amount and dip direction. Remember, when you say dip, it has a dip amount, so which was clear in the thickness problem. So I'm going back to that part only again. So dip angle, when you say dip, it has two terminologies. So here dip angle and dip direction. So what is dip direction and dip angle is, so this dip angle is nothing but the inclination. If this is a deposition, you can see, so we are assuming your ground is horizontal. In the horizontal ground, or we are drawing a reference horizontal line. See, in the inclination made between the deposition with the ground, this inclination is called as a dip angle. Dip angle, the direction or a geographical direction towards which side, you can see here, if you write this is east and this as a west line direction. So here in this case it is dipping towards east. It is clear, I guess. So this is called as a dip direction. So what is strike? Strike is this part where the deposition, see, you can see this line is meeting, both the line is meeting here. This is where it is intersect. So B and C is an intersection line, so with the ground. So this is called as a strike where the deposition is meeting the ground. This is called as a strike line or a strike of a deposition. I hope that part is clear. Again, in this figure also it is same thing we can see. This is dip angle 40 degree. This side I am talking, this direction, it is dipping towards east. This is dipping towards east. So here this point, if this is A and if this is B, A and B this is a intersection line. This intersection line is called as a strike line. So I'll go back to our problem now, that is a dip and strike problem. So here we have to understand the few more new terminologies like a true dip and apparent dip. So when you say true dip also, it has a true dip angle or amount, true dip direction. So when you say apparent dip also, so apparent dip amount or apparent dip angle, apparent dip direction, both it has. So what is the difference between a true dip and apparent dip? See, here you can see we have drawing west and east direction line as well as north and south directions, you can see. The previous case was quite different. Here if you see, this is a deposition which is meeting the ground at this point, you can see. So I can say this is a strike line. This is what we have studied in the previous problem. So this is where it is dipping. So according to the previous problem, I can say this is dipping towards west and this is a strike line. So exactly if you want to measure, I can say it is dipping. The direction is south some degree towards west. So it comes between south and west quadrant, right? You can see deposition comes in the south and west quadrant. Exactly you can measure from south to how long it is towards west. You can measure. So actually we have to focus on this part now. The true dip. What is true dip? Again a inclination. If this is a strike. So here they have mentioned. So if you see from the top, you can see this is, if you extend this is a strike line. This is a strike line. Am I right? So the inclination which is perpendicular, line which is perpendicular to the strike line is called as a true dip, is called as a true dip. And this, you can see this line, this is called as a true dip line, and this is a true dip direction. What is apparent dip? Apparent dip is this. You can say apparent dip is nothing but again it is an inclination, any inclination which you can see in a vertical section but it is not perpendicular to the strike line, which is not perpendicular. See, this is a planar surface. This is the horizontal surface. So this is called as a true dip angle. And this is true dip direction. This is apparent dip angle. It is clear. It is very clear in this. And this is apparent dip direction. So if you see here also, this line, the line number 1 represent the strike. What is strike? You know, intersection point. And to the strike line, which is perpendicular, is called as a true dip. This is true dip. Again, we have inclinations. This is also inclined with respect to this ground. So, but it is not perpendicular. So, you can call this as a apparent dip. I hope that is clear. Strike is this perpendicular is the true dip. So, that is what we have to understand. So, now we will see here in this problem. So, if you see here in this, if you see here, the question is given that what are the data is been given. You can see apparent dips, two apparent dips, amounts and directions. You have to find true dip amount and true dip direction. So you have to find out. So here the questions you can see, you can read the questions also. A bed of a sandstone dips 38 degree along north 60 degree west and 38 degree along 25 degree south 25 degree west. Determine its true dip and strike. True dip amount and strike. So I'm writing now apparent dip. A, you can see if it is difficult, apparent dip AD. Apparent dip is also called as a AD. You can write. True dip is TD. We say T means you can write it. So AD1, AD2. So what is AD1? You can see first thing. There are two true dip they are given. 38 degree along north 60 is a one apparent dip. Second, 30 degree south 25 degree towards west is the second apparent dip is given. You can see in the amount 38 degree is the amount of apparent dip. 130 is the amount of apparent dip. Yes. So what has been written? You can see clearly now. Yes. You can see AD is apparent dip. AD is apparent dip. AD A1 apparent dip amount 1 38 degree. Apparent dip amount 2 is 30 degree. Here AD apparent dip. AD apparent dip direction 1 is north 60 degree west. Apparent dip direction 2 is south 25 degree west. You can check 38 degree AD1 amount I have written here. 38 degree along north 60 west. North 60 west is the direction. AD D1, that is the apparent dip direction 1 I have written north 60 degree west. AD A2 amount 2 30 degree we have written here. Then 30 degree along south 25 degree west. apparent dip direction, that is south 25 degree west, we have written here. So understand 30 degree, what you write here, this inclination is the amount, this along with the direction what you write exactly, that is the direction. This is the amount of dip. It might be true dip or apparent dip. So true dip in this case it's apparent dip. So this is what, but we have to find true dip amount and direction. Remember, true dip is always might be amount or direction. True dip is always greater than these two, also. The whatever true dip you should gonna get should be greater than these two inclination, greater than these two directions. Now we'll see how to solve that. To solve that, you can see, you have to draw a circle of a convenient radius. You can take 2 centimeter, 2.5 centimeter, the convenient radius circle 3 centimeter. So then draw north, south and east, west direction. So you just see where it meets north, south and west, east, that is O is a intersection point. So we'll start with the AD1, apparent dip 1. AD1 is 38 degree north, 60 west. AD2 is 30 degree south, 25 degree west. Then you have to mark north 60 degree west. So you can see here, if it is not so clear, so what we have done here is we have marked north, south, west, east. So if you go back the previous, if you go back and if you check, see here, first we'll complete the AD1, apparent dip amount. 30 degree is the amount, north 60 is the west is the direction. So what we have to do here is, after drawing a north south direction, from north you should measure 60 degree towards west. So this is a northwest quadrant. So in this it is a 90 degree quadrant. So in here this is a 90 degree north. See here, from north you have to measure 60 degree towards west. This angle here, this angle will be 60 degree, and mark and draw a line from the center, this. So this is done. Then what you have to do is, from O you can see, keep your protractor at O. At O means at the intersection point at O, and you have to draw one perpendicular line to this line which you have drawn now. This line from O to whatever you are drawing, you have to draw a perpendicular 90 degree. Mark 90 degree. You can see we are marking 90 degree from O, from the intersection, marking 90 degree, and join the point to the center. And you can, when you draw, you can join that till the center. You need not to draw outside the circle, if it will be more clear. So in this, it has been drawn outside the circle also. So till the circle, from this point we are measuring, from point A we are measuring always. So that's why this point is, we are marking this point as A. Then from that you have to draw one complementary angle. So what we are doing is 90 minus. So this is northwest is 90 minus 38 degree. What is 38 degree? 38 degree is the amount of apparent dip 1. 38 degree. So amount of that is 52 degree. So from A now, from A always 90 degree. After drawing a perpendicular, you have to draw a complementary angle, that is 90 minus whatever amount is been given. In this case it is 90. If it is apparent dip 2, that is 30 degree. From here you have to mark 52 degree towards this direction line. You can see now this intersection point, we have marked it as P. So now AD2 30 degree and north 25 degree towards west. From north, you can see from north 25 degree you should measure. From this to towards west. From north 35 degree, 25 degree. Then draw a line. Then again the same procedure follow. From O you have to draw a perpendicular. Keep a protractor at O. Draw a perpendicular to the line. Just now what you have drawing. Then mark it at the circle. So better you don't cut till the circle. You just draw the perpendicular line. Then 90 minus 30, that is 60. 30 is the amount. From B you are marking 60. Join that. See where it cuts the circle, that is Q. You can see. Now you join P and Q. The next you have to join P and Q. You can see that is a strike line what we have got. Two strike line we have got now. So you have to find strike as well as a dip amount and dip direction, then strike. So we have got a strike line. Now to the strike line you have to draw one perpendicular at point A. From the center we have to draw one true dip direction line. You have to draw a true dip direction at center O. From the strike line you have to mark. So you are marking, you should keep your protractor at along strike line. Then you have to mark a 90 degree to the O. Then you have to join that, join till the circle. You have got, so you can name the line. Here it has been named as OS. That is a true dip direction. True dip direction. Then to the direction line again you have to draw on perpendicular from O. Perpendicular from O. Here it has been named as a T. Then join those two. Join those two. Then you measure the angle. This angle is a true dip direction. The angle which is marking is true dip direction line. You can see this line. You can see this line is in the southeast line, I guess. You can see, yes, it comes in south. This is south, that is west, south 80 degree. Yes, you can see this is south 80 degree, west. True dip, apparent dip amount. You can see in the question there are two apparent dips been given. And once again I'll go back to this. So it's a second type problem actually. Measure, that is yes. So what we have done here, I'm just going back. I'm showing the video. That is south 80° west. Measure from south how long, then measure this angle. See, you can see is measuring this angle, that is 50°. So your answer, true dip amount is 50° and south 80° west is the direction. So we will stop this here.